what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast, man. Hey, man, it's the super middleweight, undisputed heavyweight title fight. Undisputed middleweight title fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford. Man, this is going to be a hell of a fight, y'all. This right here is the fight that we've been waiting for. This right here is for undisputed. A lot of people is not giving Terence Bud Crawford a chance. But I can tell y'all this. He have a chance. You always have a chance in a boxing match. But before I get started, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. And make sure y'all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment. But before I get started, y'all know what we got to do. We got to hit y'all with the Real Untouchable podcast, the intro. So make sure y'all get your popcorn ready, get your drink ready, because we're about to go ahead and come at y'all with the Real Untouchable podcast. Coming to you now, right now.
You are now rocking with the best. The bass get hot, boy. I am so many fresh. I talk cash money like I'm Birdman. Tackle topic straight on, no swerving. All facts is what I'm serving. No one's better or more deserving than me. I bring that heat like Miami on a whole nother level like Kamotani. I prove points by helping you visualize, using data that's analyzed by eagle eyes. Get your mind right and act like you know. You are now tuned into the Real Untouchable podcast.
So we back. Hey, what it do, y'all? It's the Real Untouchable podcast, and we got the undisputed super middleweight championship fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford. This is gonna be a hell of a fight, y'all. It's on Netflix Saturday. It's around about 10 o'clock. Is when the fight should. About 10:30 is when the ring walk should start happening. But this right here is the fight that we've been waiting on. We've been waiting on Canelo Alvarez to get in there with undisputed welterweight champion Terence Bud Crawford. What is this fight gonna look like? A lot of people not giving Terence Bud Crawford a chance, but I'm gonna tell you the same people that's not giving Terence Bud Crawford a chance in this fight was the same one that wasn't giving him a chance against Errol Spence Jr. And how did that turn out? Total domination. And I'm not saying he's gonna destroy Canelo. But I will say this right here. I think that y'all are underestimating Terence Bud Crawford's talents. Now, is he going to defeat Canelo Alvarez? I'm worried. The only reason why I'm worried about this fight is I think that it's a handicap fight. What do I mean by that? I think that Terence Bud Crawford should have put somewhere in this fight where it was a weight clause. I think that it should have been a weight clause. I think that this fight right here should have been at 168. Like 168. Being that, 168, being that the most you can weigh is 170. But because he didn't put that in the fight, Canelo Alvarez can balloon up to 200 pounds if he wants to. And I just think that that's a handicap match. I think that it's not fair because if you do not put a weight clause on a fight, then Canelo Alvarez, we know how big he can get. It was the reason why Floyd Mayweather put in the clause for him to be 152 pounds. Like, you cannot give Canelo that type of advantage. And I think that Terence Bud Crawford wanted to fight so bad that is the reason why he gave him everything that he wanted, which that I think that was a bad move. And that's the only reason that I'm worried about Terence Bud Crawford winning this fight. Am I going to go with Terence Bud Crawford? Yes, I'm going with him. I'm going with him to win this fight. But I am worried because, like I said, Terence Bud Crawford is a small welterweight. He's just like Floyd Mayweather. They walk around at 146 145 pounds. So now he has to go up to 168 pounds. That's 2 weight class, actually 3 weight class, because he was at one. He really wasn't. He only fought one fight at 154. So I can't even say he was a normal 154 pounder. So basically he had to jump up 3 weight class to go up to fight Canelo Alvarez. And I think that the reason he did this is because he wanted to chase greatness, but he also wanted to fight Canelo, and he knows that defeating Canelo would pretty much make his career. Honestly, if he wins this fight here, Terrence Bud Crawford is really the face of boxing easily. It ain't even a debate no more. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because Canelo is a big puncher. Canelo is a big fighter. He's a big middleweight. He was a big welterweight when he was fighting at welterweight. He was a big super welterweight when he went up there to super middleweight. And he was, it took him time for middleweight, but when he became a middleweight, he was just a normal middleweight. Then now he's a super middleweight. So that's the only issue that I'm worried about is I think that Canelo's power, he's going to have even more power with more weight behind him. When these two fighters comes in, you got Canelo Alvarez. He's from Mexico. Terrence Bud Crawford is from the U.S. Terrence Bud Crawford at 37 years old. Canelo Alvarez is 35 years old. Canelo Alvarez is at 5'7.5". Terrence Bud Crawford is 5'8". But when they stood up against each other tonight, just looking at them, they look about the same height, honestly. I think that, they saying that Terrence Bud Crawford is a half an inch taller than him. I can possibly see that maybe, but they look like they was pretty much the same height tonight. But when we look at the reach for Canelo is 70.5. Terrence Bud Crawford always said that he got long arms for a welterweight. For a smaller fighter, he has very long arms. He have a 74-inch reach. And I think that that's going to be something that Terrence Bud Crawford have to use in this fight. If he can do what he did against Errol Spence, which is make Canelo respect his power from the beginning. If he can make Canelo respect his power from the beginning and get him to pretty much not trying to stalk him in this fight, then I think that this fight right here can possibly go to this fight right here could possibly go to Errol Spence, to Terrence Crawford. But if he cannot get Canelo, make Canelo respect his power and keep him off him from stalking him, then this fight right here could possibly be one of those fights that Canelo pretty much just cruises to a unanimous decision win. But then when you look at it, Canelo Alvarez is 63-2-2. Terrence Bud Crawford is 41-0. Now, this is right here where I tell Canelo fans, one thing you can tell, this is the difference between these two fighters. See, this is how you can shut Canelo fans up when you say this. The good thing about Canelo and Crawford is this. Canelo has a blueprint to how to beat him. Terrence Crawford don't have a blueprint because he's never lost a fight. No matter how much you think Madrimov pretty much defeated him. No, he didn't win. So you don't have a blueprint to how to defeat Terrence Bud Crawford, but it's damn sure a blueprint out there to defeat Canelo because he has 2 losses and he also has 2 draws. So clearly 2 fights that he lost and 2 fights that he didn't look like he won. So it's blueprint out there for Canelo. It's a blueprint out there to defeat Canelo Alvarez. And another thing that I try to tell Canelo fans is this. See, Canelo fans love Canelo, and that's why one thing that I do respect about them. They love the hell out of Canelo Alvarez. That's good. The one thing I say about American fighters, American fans, is that we don't back our fighters the way a Mexican fan backs their fighters. I think that we should do a better job in backing our fighters, and that's the only issue that I really have when it comes to American-born fighters. American fans don't support them. They hate on them more than anything. You don't see that when it comes down to a Mexican fan. They're going to support their fighters, and that's why they support the hell out of Canelo Alvarez. When Terrence Bud Crawford came out tonight, they booed the hell out of him because that's what Mexican fans do. They're going to bag their fighter. It doesn't matter. Canelo was caught taking PED. He said it was meat. He said it was contaminated meat. Whatever it was, he tested positive for PED. Guess what? They swept that under the rug, and he was still the face of boxing. I think if a black fighter tests positive, I'm not saying that he can't bounce back, but I will say he's going to take a hit. Another thing I want to tell Canelo fans. See, Canelo fans got to understand. The good thing about being an American-born fighter, especially a black American-born fighter, is this. We know that we're going to have another great champion that's coming right behind Terrence Crawford. See, Canelo fans they know that they're not going to have another champion for another 25, 30 years. That's the way it works. Just like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Then you got Canelo Alvarez. Those are the 2 biggest fighters that was from Mexico. We had fighters all the way back from Ali to Sugar Ray to Mike Tyson to Floyd Mayweather, now to Terence Crawford. And then guess what we got next coming up? We got Shakur Stevens. So this is just a rerun for us. We get it. But I will say, I think that this fight right here, if Terence Crawford can make Canelo respect his power, I think that Terence Bud Crawford will win this fight by unanimous decision or majority decision. But if he do not keep Canelo from stalking, if he do not keep Canelo, make Canelo respect his power, I do think Canelo will win this one right here fairly easy. And the reason I say that right there is because I don't think that Canelo, Terence Crawford is going to have to defeat Canelo to win his belts. I don't think that by him doing what he did against Madrimov, I don't think a fight like that can win this fight. I think that a fight like Errol Spence is going to have to be, that's what the type of fight that Errol Spence, the type of fight that he fought against Errol Spence is the type of fight he's going to have to fight against Canelo to win that fight. Because I don't think the judges will give a fight like Madrimov to Terence Bud Crawford. I think that a fight like Madrimov, they will give that to Canelo. That would be a unanimous decision for Canelo. So if Terence Bud Crawford if it's not a clear-cut victory, I think that Canelo wins this fight. I don't think they're gonna give him, even though he is, he's a big name, he ain't the biggest name, he ain't the cash cow like Canelo. So to defeat Canelo, you're gonna have to beat Canelo, meaning that you're gonna have to beat his ass. And I think that if Terence Bud Crawford can do that, the same thing he did to Errol Spence Jr., then I think that he can possibly win this fight. But if this fight is close, I do think that this fight right here is gonna go to Canelo Alvarez. So, but I'm riding with Terence Bud Crawford, and I picked against him. You go back and watch my podcast when I picked against Terence Bud Crawford against Errol Spence. Why did I pick against Terence Bud Crawford? Even though I don't watch Bud dominate. I watched him dominate Jose Benavidez. I watched him stop Sean Porter. I watched him stop so many fighters. But the reason I went against him was because I felt that he wasn't going to be able to control Errol Spence's power. And what did he do? He came into that fight, and at one point, I didn't know who was the bigger fighter, because at one point, Terence Bud Crawford was pretty much dominating so bad. He had Errol Spence bagging up. I'm talking about pushing him up, tossing him around in the ring. That's what he's going to have to do against Canelo. He is going to have to fight the exact same type of fight against Canelo Alvarez that he fought against Errol Spence. The only difference is he's going to have to be sharper, because one thing about Canelo is Canelo have the defense. He has the defense. You're not going to hit him with everything that you hit Errol Spence with, because one thing about Canelo is he learned from Floyd Mayweather, that beating that he took from Floyd. He learned from that. See, so that's why I think that this fight right here, it's a good fight, but I do think that Canelo is primed to win this fight, because I just think it's everything that he wanted is on his side. He got the weight on his side, He has, this is the first time that Terence Bud Crawford is coming to his backyard. He's pretty much coming up to super middleweight. He's never been there before. So he got everything on his side, So I think that this right here is a fight that is set up for Canelo to win. But I'm going to go with Bud Crawford's greatness. I think that by his greatness, I got to go with what I've seen. I've seen this dude do something to bigger fighters and dominate them. But I also seen how bigger fighters pretty much rock him. And, but he still bounces back. And I just hope that he doesn't get careless. I hope he don't, try to go head to head with Canelo and throw punch for punch with him, because I don't know if that's going to end well. But I'm going to go with, I think that Terence Bud Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision and become a 4-division super middleweight undisputed champion. He will be the only four-division champion, undisputed champion. And I think that this right here pretty much seal his greatness as the greatest of our generation. Terence Bud Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez. But hey, will I bet money on it? I'm not going to bet no money on it. Will I bet bet something on it? I'm not gonna bet because I'm not 100% sure. I think that this right here, what possibly is gonna happen, but I just know Canelo. I know this guy too. But I'm going with Bud Crawford to win this fight. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Until next time, man. Thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast, man. It's gonna be a hell of a fight between these two. Man, this is gonna be a hell of a fight. So make sure y'all tune in, man. It's gonna be, and also, like I said, it's on Netflix. Make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Make sure y'all give me your feedback on what y'all think about this segment. Until next time, y'all. Peace.